Hey everybody, and welcome to the Inferno Cast, episode 062. I am Fox, host of said podcast and of YouTube's Inferno Fox Gaming channel. Inferno Fox Gaming has content regarding RPGs, Nintendo, and retro gaming, and the Inferno Cast is here, right here on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and more. Friendly reminder to moderate video game playing, touch grass, and help your partner, parents, or roommates around the house. Got a fun end to Spooktober, and we're going to be talking about our license to scare horror movie and TV shows that became video games that are based off of said properties. And joining us is our fantastic cast and crew. We have Stormrosesky of the Twitch and YouTube channels of Stormrosesky. Storm, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I did have myself muted only slightly to yawn, but it's a pleasure to be here. And, hopefully I'll be creating shorts for YouTube. I know I said I'm going to take a break from from YouTube, but I kind of miss it, but we'll see what happens. It's just, the way life is right now.
Nah, totally get that. Sometimes it can be pretty nuts. Also, speaking of nuts, we have Simbu Darkfang. He is a host of live streaming video games gameplay on the Scurryface channel on Twitch. And as a gentle reminder regarding that on Scurryface, the SFWF returns November 10th. So make sure to check that out on Scurryface. We're going to have a link to that in the description below. Simbu, how's it going? And are we still on track for that November 17th special event?
Well, we are. We are. I am working with the owner. I'm waiting on a couple more confirmations, but November 17th is still on track. Everything is set on my end. It is just waiting for the few things on his end to finish up. And as always, it is Spooktober. So this is our Halloween cast, and I am the only one dressed up.
Yep.
Sad face.
I don't see too much of a difference. I mean, you finally took off your mask, but you got a hood on. I guess that's something.
Well, it's because I'm bald.
This is a safe channel. You are accepted as you present for whom you are, and we will show you all the love and respect that you deserve, even if you are bald. Also joining us is Jason the 13th of the YouTube channel, Jason the 13th. Jason, thank you so much for joining us.
Not a problem. This will be a fun night.
And also we have Jamie Owls, and she is my partner and partner in crime. Also, we have the monthly series of games that we are playing. Jamie Owls, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here tonight.
And last but not least, we have Hillbilly Hardicus. He is a good friend of ours and a resident hill slut. Hardicus, thank you so much for joining.
Hey, thanks for having me. Always fun to be here.
And last but not least, we would normally have Astrimedes, developer and co-owner of Second Place Games, but he has the night off. And again, let's make sure if you're watching on YouTube to give some mad props again to Simbu for the fantastic costume that he's got on. So he's really getting into the Halloween spirit. And we'll ask you guys, Simbu, let me ask you, what are your plans for Halloween this year?
Well, being retired as an actor means I don't work a haunted house, but it will be the Watch Dogs Day at my daughter's school, where I will be dressing up as the Mandalorian again this year and roaming the halls. And then, of course, trick-or-treating with the family.
Very cool. That sounds surprisingly wholesome. I'm surprised. I don't know. Jason, can you add some scare flair to that? What Halloween plans do you have?
Oh, my Halloween plans aren't anything special at all. I literally sit at home. I usually watch stuff like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or any kind of horror movie. Maybe I'll finally break out that Saw X that I'm waiting to watch here and hand out candy for anyone who comes to the door. So
Very nice. Yeah, I'm a wage slave, so I have my normal full-time job that will take
Yep.
a good third plus of the day, though, because my boss is awesome and
Mhm.
she didn't want to have to go into the office. She said, I'm working from home that day so I can give the kids candy. You guys can too. So work from home day. I will take it. Jamie Owls, you know what I'm doing. What are you
Hmm.
doing?
Halloween night. Probably play more Silent Hill 2 and maybe watch a horror film. I haven't decided yet. I was kind of taking a break from watching all like the actual very scary stuff and kind of sticking with the cutesy Halloween type films.
Yeah, I mean, the Halloween films are some of the more tamer horror movies, but I don't know if I'd call them cutesy.
Yeah.
But and you know, as you've told me, the veil is the thinnest on Halloween night, so
Yes, it is.
that would be the time to employ some of your witchy magic.
Yes.
And speaking of
Fox is
witchy
getting
ma
possessed.
magic, oh, sorry, what was that?
Fox is getting possessed.
Oh, if I'm lucky. Um, Speaking of witchy magic, though, Storm, what are your plans for Halloween?
For Halloween, I am working in the morning. So I am dressing up my team. The second grade team and I are dressing up as the QR code soul collectors because each kid has a QR code to scan into their computers, into their Chromebooks. And oh my God, did they lose them all the time. So we're going as QR code soul collectors. So we have our own little QR codes we're going to put on t-shirts and whatnot. But we'll have a little Halloween party at the end of the day. And then when I get home, if I survive Halloween, because getting them to do any kind of work normally, but add a Halloween, like a Halloween day, that's Thursday's going to be fun. But when we get home, I'm ordering pizza, watching maybe Roseanne's Halloween episodes because they have that DVD that has all of Roseanne's Halloween episodes and
Nice.
watch a few of those, and maybe if I don't crack into the rest of Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me, if I don't get that finished tomorrow, I will probably do some more of that on Thursday because I am 72% through it. I started on Saturday and I've played 5 hours of it and it's a lot of fun. I can only do little bits at a time because I get all like sucked into it and my blood pressure and everything is whatever. But right now I'm actually looking up to see when Terrifier will come out on DVD and decide if I want to buy those or not because I have just fallen in not fallen in love with Art the Clown, but I have enjoyed those movies quite a bit. So may give one of those a watch or two, but Halloween, I don't think we'll have any trick-or-treaters because we're where we are, so just be a pizza and TV night and maybe a little gaming.
Nice. That sounds like a good night. And Hardicus, well, what are your plans for Halloween? What sort of craziness do you have going on in Crazyville?
Uh, really, there's no crazy plans. Thursday for me is normally raid night, so I should probably find out if we're gonna raid or not. If not, it will more than likely either be uh taking the little nephew for trick or treating, or what's most likely going to happen is just some horror movies.
Mhm.
Because I live in an area where there are no trick or treaters, so I don't have to worry about that at all.
Nice. That's good. Very cool. And since we are in the Halloween spirit, again, as I mentioned, today we're talking about what our favorite horror movie and TV show based video games are. And just like the last two topics, I don't really play horror genre video games, so I'm going to be leaning on the cast and crew here to talk about their experiences with these games. I also generally don't like or really play licensed video games either, like license on movies and TV shows. So again, this is where my crew is going to shine. And I'm gonna ask these questions, and we're gonna go in reverse alphabetical order from their first name, real name. That said, Storm, Storm,
Okay.
you are gonna start us off. What are your favorite horror movie and TV show video games?
I wonder what it could be.
My Little Pony
I've,
doesn't count.
yeah, I have no idea what my favorite or oh God, Friday the 13th above all things.
They made a video game for that?
Yes, there's been a couple of video games. There was the one in the 80s where Jason was purple, and then we have the newer Friday the 13th that's has been got stuck in all that copyright battle and bullcrap. But I absolutely love that game. I love the series. Um, so I wish they had more. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a good game, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all of them are not my favorite series of movies. So meh on them. I got it because, it was made by the same publishers or video game publishers that made Friday the 13th. So that is, as we know, a defunct game, and unfortunately, but I can still play it with anyone who has it. And just there are never more and no more updates, and you can't buy it or get it anywhere. So just kind of stuck with it on my Switch, which is absolutely fine. I think they did a fantastic job of representing each of the cabins from several movies or the land areas and all the little Easter eggs. It's just phenomenal, and I wish it wasn't laid to rest, so to speak.
Yeah, now that I recall, I think you've mentioned that once or twice or more. No, it really is sad when when a thing really goes defunct like that, and it was really a crappy reason for it to
Yeah.
just
And unfortunately, and I know I've talked about this game quite a bit, but that is my absolute favorite horror series is Friday the 13th. So it's I'll always talk about it, and I fell in love with that game, and I'm sad about it. But maybe in the future they'll work themselves out. Who knows? But until then, I'm ready for my others that are other questions. So games I or movies I would like to see as games. Um, so I can't wait for that.
yeah. But first I'll ask what your favorite horror movie or TV show video game is to Hardicus.
You know what? I don't play a lot of horror games, but for a game that was, we won't say based on a movie or show, but takes characters from it, would probably be Alien versus Predator. It was just very, very fun back in the day, especially if you had at the time surround sound headphones or speakers, especially when you're skittering around as the little alien in the vents, or as a human, you can hear the alien skittering behind you. It was pretty atmospheric for the time, and a lot of fun to play, especially because you could, if I remember correctly, play as the human Marines, the aliens, or the Predator at the time.
Oh, nice. I think Alien Isolation also did that with the speakers. I a chat, I almost said chat. For those listening, let me know in the comments below if that was the case. Because
I
yeah,
don't doubt it. I've heard that is an excellent game too. I have not gotten around to play that one yet.
yeah, same here. I own it. I have it for the Switch, but again, I've yet to play it. Um, Speaking of Mr. Thumbs Down, Simbu, your favorite horror movie and TV and or if that's a thing, TV show video game.
Well, out of everything that I have played, I am going to have to give it to Alien Isolation. Aliens Colonial Marines is a good one. Um, that was a good game too. Um, but I got to give it to Alien Isolation. Um, Fantastic, first person game. Yeah, it was 3D. It did have the 3D surround sound to it, which is kind of fun, especially when playing with headphones, because they do tell you best way to experience this game is with headphones.
Man, I gotta
But yeah,
I got to do that. If I have it on the Switch, just do it handheld in the dark and put some headphones on in the jack there.
Oh, I don't know how it's gonna look on how it's gonna work on the Switch, but if you can get it on the PS5, which is normally on sale quite often, um, actually, it's much better with the actual 3D surround sound headphones with the over the ears.
And you got to imagine with that. I mean, it's crazy with that. It's 10 years old and it still runs and looks so well, and it makes sense. That's why they announced the same team doing a sequel. How excited for that are you, Simbu?
So I have seen bits and pieces of this talk of a sequel, but everything that I've seen so far, I haven't really seen much. There's really not much chatter about it, but they just did release something for the VR for the PSVR 2, some sort of alien thing for the PSVR.
Hmm.
So I don't know if that was the quote unquote next thing, or if, you know, the rumor mill is true and we're getting an actual sequel to the game.
Yeah, it's from what I've heard, it is an actual sequel made by Creative Assembly. So it'd be cool if, it's the same quality that is gonna be what that was. So, but um Jason, though, your favorite horror movie and or TV show video game.
I think it's funny that we all like horror, but we don't play a lot of horror games. But the one that I can recall with some favorite memories from way back in the past, original NES Jaws. That was a very fun game. Got to throw something different in the mix here, you know? I was gonna say, I've played some of the Alien games. I'm trying to remember games that are actually were TV or movies before the game itself. A lot of things I'm thinking of are in reverse. Like I played the game, but it wasn't a TV or movie until after the game.
Hmm.
Like I don't recall Silent Hill being anything before the game. I was gonna
Really?
say, I know what Silent Hill is based off of a real world town, but the movies came out way after the games came out. But yeah,
Uh,
so
for those who are listening, that is Centralia, Pennsylvania,
ha,
would be the name of the town that Silent Hill was based off of.
yep. But yeah, for games that I've personally played that have came were based off of a TV or movie, Jaws was a fun game when back on the NES. Me and my brothers and my dad played that a lot.
Yeah, and that's a luck-based speedrunner's delight,
Yes,
where
it
if
is.
you were lucky enough, you could beat it in mere minutes without actual like cheats or hacks or crazy crap like that.
hmm
It's too funny. Jamie Owls, how about you? What's your favorite horror movie slash TV show video game
Uh, for horror movie,
or TV show if it was, I don't know.
for my favorite scary movie, I'd probably have to be the classic, Halloween, the very first one.
Now remember we're saying like your favorite horror movie or TV show video game. So if there was a Halloween video game,
Oh, um, I don't know, honestly. I really don't.
yeah, I'm trying to think if you've played obviously you've played Resident Evil and Silent Hill, but it's the chicken and the egg thing that Jason just
Yeah.
said. The game came before the movie. So I'm trying to, and I'm looking at your collection right now, and I'm not really seeing anything that was the reverse. I'm surprised if your sister didn't make you play Jaws on the NES as a kid.
I don't think we ever had it. I don't remember, but I just remember having the Jaws Unleashed game for the PlayStation 2, which was god awful, but it was
So
still
that's not
fun
your
at the
favorite.
same time.
There is a game out there, I believe it's called Retro Rewind, that it's a 2D side scroller. one of the properties they use is Halloween.
Okay. I don't think Jamie Ellis has played that, but in
No.
case, you know,
Yeah, but it's newer, so I don't know if it's out yet or if it's in development or like it's pre-release kind of thing or what. But I have seen that recently.
interesting. I would say for me, since I am reverse alphabetical order the last. Again, don't really play these too much, and mine is really sad. And did I mention how sad it is? My favorite horror movie slash TV show video game would be Addams Family on the Super Nintendo because literally, that's as close as I get to the horror genre. And Jamie Owls were watching the 90s movie earlier in the week because that's probably one of the best versions of the Addams Family.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's funny. They started off as I think a comic in the New Yorker or something like that. So it's kind of a cool little piece of pointless trivia for you. But it was a fun game. It wasn't the greatest, but it was still good. I'm gonna ask our poor victim Storm for the next question, which is, what horror movie or TV franchise would you like to see become a video game, and what genre would it be? I'm betting Terrifier, but Storm, what would you?
Oh God, Terrifier would be awesome, but that will never ever. Well, I can't say never. I doubt that will happen. It's just much respect to Damon or Damien for creating such a fantastic series, but I don't think it will ever come to video games for reasons that aren't the the ratings on that would be
It would be an AO for sure.
yes. So, you know, what I would like to see, I know Freddy had his shot at a video game a long time ago. So a great Nightmare on Elm Street or a Halloween that is like the Jason or Friday the 13th games where they're based on the movies and whatnot, would be fantastic. Like a Halloween getting to chase around the babysitters would be would be a lot of fun to stomp around as Michael and go after them. So it'd be great to see that as its own entity, much like they did with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I would love to see Nightmare on Elm Street get the same kind of treatment. Uh, I think Freddy is long overdue for something more modern. And, Robert England would still be available to do the voice. And I wish everyone would leave him alone about wanting him to come back and be Freddy. He just seen the man. He's older now, and we've got to respect that he's in his 70s and doing all the physical crap that he did for Nightmare on Elm Street, he's just not
Yeah.
able to do. So, as much as I would love to see him back as Freddy, the closest I think we could get is anything animated or CGI, or if he could be, video game. I think that series would be Nightmare on Elm Street, I think, and Halloween would be more popular than the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I believe they might have a bigger following than um that series. So yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street for sure. I'd love to just be able to invade somebody's dreams and go after them as Freddy and just be walking in their shoes, or vice versa, where you're hiding, trying to keep your character awake. So they would be horror style games and not a choose your own adventure. I mean, maybe a Nightmare on Elm Street might be good with choose your own adventure on trying to keep them awake and getting out of any mazes that Freddy makes or anything like that. So there's a possibility there. But I think it would like a Halloween with Michael Myers would be more like the Friday the 13th type game where you are just running and chasing after people. Maybe Freddy could get a taste of the choose your own adventure survival horror thing, but you know, I can only hope that maybe someone's listening to this and they'll listen to my words and they'll do the thing for me, and maybe someday in the future we'll get both Halloween and Nightmare not Nightmare Before Christmas. Ugh, Nightmare on Elm Street. we'll get those movies, and that would be phenomenal. I wanted to say also The Walking Dead, but The Walking Dead has had several games off of it and whatnot. So, you know,
Yeah,
I
that the
forgot
walk
about them before.
Walking Dead has been done to death. Although the
Yes.
Telltale Walking Dead game is by far one of the best video games. It's a top 100 game. So if you guys haven't heard of that or anything like not just my crew but also the audience, make sure you do your research, check that out. Telltale's Walking Dead. Like, I can't even get that right. Again, one of the best games. I think it was on the PS4, so it should be still available on all major consoles, at least PlayStation, maybe Steam. Absolutely recommend that. I like the idea of a Freddy game only because like the idea of putting you in the villain's shoes is innovative enough, but then do it in a sense to where I've heard of games where you play as the monster or the dragon and you set up the dungeon and you have to fight off the hordes of knights and everything like that. Do that the same way with Freddy, except instead of, setting up the castle, you're setting up the nightmare. You know who your victims are. It's the 6 to 8 teenagers. So you take the time, learn their backgrounds, and so you set up the dream to, okay, if this person is scared of sharks, am I going to have them in the middle of, are they going to be in their bathtub, dreaming of being in the bathtub? Are they going to be dreaming that they're in the lake house that they grew up in? Or are you they're going to dream that they're at the beach with their romantic loved one? Like which one? And then what sort of beast? And when does it, like you are the person that controls Freddy. So you control all that, and then you also control the execution. It would be, I feel like it's almost like Persona, uh, in that you set it up as the time goes on, you get to know the people, and then it's also Persona slash Dungeon Keeper. I'm trying to remember the actual name of the game of that, and then slash, literally slash, because you're gonna freaking slash them with whatever sort of weapons that you got.
You
So
know what? Oh,
oh,
I'm
sorry,
sorry.
sorry,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
You know, as soon as you said slash, that made me think of stab, and oh my God, Scream needs its own video game. Ghostface has not been in the video game at all. And I think Ghostface is long overdue. That series is long overdue for it. They maybe, I don't think they've had a video game at all, so they're long overdue for something like that, where you're just, that would be more like a Friday the 13th chasing after them. But I do like your idea for Nightmare on Elm Street with the, you setting up the nightmare and the execution of all that. That would be a lot of fun instead of his platformer that was out ages and ages ago, where you're just,
Yeah.
not the same.
Wasn't Ghostface in one of the Mortal Kombat's like recently?
Yeah, I think he was
Yes.
DLC, and
And
he was also
He-
in Fork Knife, so he
and
was in a video game.
no,
there's also another game. I just heard about it today when I was watching another YouTube channel. They have some. I was only loosely listening, so I'll have to do a little research on this. But there's another like I want to say it's kind of like one of those Dead by Daylight type of games
hmm
where but it takes place like in the past, like in the 1800s or something like that. And they had mentioned Ghostface being in that as well.
Yeah, Ghostface has not been in Fortnite. He is rumored to be coming to Fortnite. He's not yet made an appearance. He's been in Dead by Daylight, Mortal Kombat, maybe a couple of others for DLC, but not in Fortnite yet. Otherwise, I would own it because Scream is another series that I absolutely adore. So, yeah, that would be. I can't believe I forgot about them, but the big one. He's staring at me in the face. Has he really? No. When? That's fake.
No, that's fake. He's not actually in there yet.
Because I would have it by then. I played then, so yeah.
Unless he released tonight, but I highly doubt it.
Nope. I think we're just getting Bubba. I think or Halloween stuff is done this year for Fortnite. So, but less big surprise. Who
The
knows?
game I was thinking is called Hunt Showdown 1896.
And I think Jason was talking, but I can't hear him because I think he's muted or I'm not. Or
He was laughing at one point.
Yeah.
Can't hear you.
Yeah. Poor Jason. He is having.
Okay, it didn't
Yep,
show.
there it is.
It
There
did
he
not
is.
show muted on the computer. My mic, I bumped my mic and my mic was off.
I hate when that happens.
So that screenshot showed 2023 for Fort Myers, and he did not come out last year.
He did not.
No.
But made you look.
Yeah, major look.
Hardicus, what horror movie or TV franchise would you like to see become a video game, and what genre would it be?
I had thought of a couple of ones. Excuse me. The Nightmare on Elm Street has always been a favorite horror title, and I think, and I'm probably one of the only people that's going to remember this game, but there's a game called Haunting starring Poltergeist on the Genesis. And I think an upgraded version of that with Freddy would be just a stupid fun time like that game was. The other one I had thought of is Stormrose had kind of touched on it with those like choose your own adventure kind of you could really open it up to almost any horror villain, Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers, whoever. And the last one I really thought of was and it's another just stupid mindless title, would be like the Dynasty Warriors types games where you're just Jason or Freddy just tearing through teenagers.
Oh yeah. Wow. A Muso game. Man, that
Yeah,
would be
just stupid mindless fun of just tearing teenagers apart.
It's when you go down to Lookout Peak where they're in their cars and everything like that. You're just tearing them up and
Yeah, you could have iconic locations from the different films. Each horror villain has their own power sets. I mean, because it's just a stupid turn your brain off button masher where you're just causing carnage.
there you go.
That'd be fun.
Simbo, how about you? What horror movie or TV franchise would you like to see become a video game? What genre?
So we've already touched on Freddy. Obviously, Nightmare on Elm Street needs an actual good game. And I would like, obviously, psychological thriller, not so much horror aspect, not so much horror, but like I think it as a psychological thriller, kind of like Alien Isolation. I think a game like that starring Freddy would be a fantastic way. I like Fox your idea about create a dungeon, create a nightmare, so to speak, with Freddy. I think that would be fun. But I would love to see Nightmare Before Christmas get an actual game. However, my cup that I drink out of has this on it, and it is Stitch as Leatherface. I would love to see Disney collab with the 80s slashers, turning some of their characters into the different 80 like horror icons, and just do something Disney-esque, like off the wall, kind of goofy, but I think it would be kind of fun. Kind of like Jason the 13th showed me the Disney Twisted Princesses. I'd like to see games based around that. It would be something different. It'd be interesting. I mean, I don't know what kind of game. It could be like a world builder or something. Or like what game was that? Disney Universe. Back on the Xbox 360. Go to these different universes, or kind of like a Disney Infinity sort of style game. I think it would be interesting. It would definitely be something out of the realm of normalcy for Disney. Definitely out of the realm of normalcy for horror villains or horror fans in general. But it could be one of those things that works. Now, Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't want more movies. Leave Nightmare Before Christmas the way it is. Give me a game where Jack goes to the different holidays. Give me a game like that where Jack goes and tries to invade Valentine's Day or goes to invade Easter or goes to invade, 4th of July, whatever. Give me a game like that. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Interesting. I could see the slasher thing maybe being something they could add into Disney Dreamlight Valley. Just have a whole Halloween celebration, and then just add a whole, hey, we're celebrating, and not only that, but we're also traveling to the horror world, and we have an additional thing, and that could go into that and expand the overall surprisingly dark themes that game has. I think that would be a good fit for that too. Um, Jason the 13th, horror movie or TV franchise you'd like to see become a video game genre?
I got one of each. And originally I was thinking I would love to see a Saw game, but they actually had that and I did not know about it until researching for this. And I would have loved to have tried that out when it was back
Oh,
then.
geez, Simbu, take that mask off. That's scary. Whew.
Oh, you're muted.
Happy Halloween!
Whew. Scary. Jason, I'm sorry. Please continue.
But since there is a Saw game already, yeah, I don't know if we need a new Saw game. Let's go with the one that's I would say probably a lesser known horror movie, but extremely fun, and I enjoyed it immensely when I was younger. I want to see Critters come back. Let's get a Critters game. I'm not quite sure how the genre would go for it. Maybe something where you're a character running around and you have to avoid all the little monsters that are trying to eat you.
That would be so much fun.
It would be.
Jason, I got it for you. We'll just make it into a Dynasty Warriors. You play as one of the bounty hunters, and you just fight thousands of critters.
That would be awesome.
Or you could do it like they did with Prey, the game Prey.
Oh, yeah.
Space Station, you got to put the whole thing back together and whatnot, but you got the enemies coming at you all randomly. Like, you could do that, like
Yeah.
a Prey Dead Space kind of feel.
That's kind of cool.
So I would love to see Critters come back. Maybe somebody do like a brand new Critters movie and then get a game for it. That'd be real fun. But my other one, I was thinking TV shows, and I'm surprised after 14 seasons they never got one. I actually enjoyed the series, even though a lot of people don't. Supernatural.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that
That'd
didn't
be
get
cool.
anything
They
either.
never got a game. I'm very surprised on that one. And I can see that being like an RPG style almost, where you're going and you're leveling up and you start off fighting like the vampires and the little stuff, and then you get into the demons and all that kind of stuff. So,
Then you have to punch God.
yep, exactly.
that would be
The final
very
boss,
cool.
you're fighting God.
There is
if you want to punch God, just play God of War and go punch Zeus.
Yeah, but
There-
that's a god. Like Supernatural, they literally punch God. Like God.
Yes, they do.
God.
apparently there's a supernatural role-playing game.
Yes, I have actually seen that. They even have an episode in the series all based off of that.
Really?
Yep.
I've seen 2 episodes of that show and I
How
couldn't get
dare
into
you.
it. So
You probably watched one of the few seasons that were the really crappy season.
it was the first season.
Oh, really? The first season?
Yeah.
See,
I could give it
now-
another go, but we'll see.
I've seen 327 episodes, so I got you beat there a little bit.
Oh, I've seen all of it.
I just finished
So-
my third time through the series, like, I don't know, 2 months ago. It's
Like,
good background noise.
Yes, it is.
yeah. Oh, sorry, Simba, go ahead.
Now, Jason, I wanna counter Supernatural. Instead of Supernatural, have you ever seen the TV show Grimm?
Only the first season of Grimm.
I think if they were to do a game based off of any Supernatural-esque show, Grimm would be the better choice for an RPG.
Okay.
Because then you can play as some random person and you're not like, oh, we need Sam or Dean, It
True,
could be just
true.
a random Grimm.
That is true.
Jamie Ellis, how about you? What horror movie or TV franchise would you like to see become a video game, or in what genre would it be?
I was thinking, I'm thinking of a TV show, especially a TV show from the 80s, and the genre that I would pick would be the Care Bears, and instead of Care Bears, it'd be called Scare Bears.
Uh,
That'd be freaking
That'd be
adorable.
funny.
And instead of the Care Bear stare instead turns people to stone or kills them outright.
The Scare Bear Kill, that's what it'd be called.
They disembowel you with your sight.
There you go.
Um, yeah, again, kind of same thing for me too. Horror movie or TV franchise. I'm gonna go with TV franchise, and it's gonna be Glee. So
Glee.
Glee, and it's gonna be the genre is gonna be the first person shooter because that's. I mean, besides it being in America, that being a whole thing fitting. No, it would probably be the idea that you're in high school and you have to sing just to do your like I always found that terrifying in of itself. Plus, you guys have heard of the Glee curse, it being an actual thing that has afflicted the entirety of the cast of Glee. I mean, there's nothing good that comes out of Glee. It's the scariest thing, both why having to watch the show as well as what happens after the show. Oh, look at the cast. It's terrible,
Okay,
terrible.
Poltergeist, calm down with your curses.
But it's a real thing. I mean, look at the cast. How many of them have had just awful things and drownings and
Like I
uh
said, I will counter with Poltergeist.
I still think
You
Glee's got
know,
to beat. I still think Glee's got to beat. I mean, so some of them have died some through drownings. Some of them
Mm-hmm.
have Danny Masterson level of issues. Some of
mm-hmm,
them went from being jerks to mega jerks.
mm-hmm.
Well, Jason the
Yep.
13th went from being a jerk to a mega jerk, and we still let him here.
Uh-huh.
I guess I
Well,
don't know. That's why I think it's the scariest out of all of that. Just having to. I used to date somebody that had Glee on and just ugh. My dad said the scariest movie he ever had seen is a tie between The Exorcist and Sound of Music. And after watching Glee, I get it. I get it. My dad has wisdom beyond his years. So we're going to ask Storm now. This is kind of touching upon what Jason the 13th had was talking about with Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Storm will ask you what original horror video game or series you'd like to see have a movie or TV show made for it.
oh, you know what? The Devil in Me would be great.
Hmm.
Because I'm playing that right now. No, actually, something from the Dark Pictures anthology. They've already got a story there. Just put it on big screen. I would like to see a Hollywood, I'm air quoting Hollywood take on the story that they're telling through The Devil and Me with H. Holmes and people investigating and having to make the really hard decisions. Are you going to kill yourself or let somebody else die? I mean, whatever. I've had to choose who gets to live and who gets to die in the game. So,
Mm-hmm.
watching all of that happen, that psychological torture, it's more it is more psychological than it is gory, and I love gory movies, but psychological thrillers and those are sometimes scarier because they're so much harder on your brain to, put yourself in the shoes of uh like who was it? Oh, Jamie, who had to decide that Kate was going to get squished by the mirror the glass wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Oh well, it happened. I could have kept her alive, but no, Kate annoyed me. So so it would just be, I think, one of those. I mean, my horror video games is very limited. The ones that I've played have already, are based off of movies. So I think having one of those properly done in a proper Resident Evil would be great. too. I mean, redo it, but I honestly think the Dark Anthology series they could definitely make movies off of those and make it a series and follow along
Bonus
even
points.
the
Bonus
crappier
point
ones.
Storm. Who's
But
directing that?
oh, Red. You know what? I gotta look up his name because unfortunately we don't have Wes anymore. Oh, yeah. Hang on. I'm looking
No worries.
for not my
While you pull that up, we'll ask Hardicus
yes, go ahead.
what his or do you have it already on hand, Storm? Sorry.
Um, since I don't have Craven anymore, the last one that did no, really enjoyed Scream 7 would be Kevin Williamson. Um, and Carpenter would be I would love to
Uh-huh.
have Carpenter do
That was what I was
something
gonna
Carpenter'd be
say.
my pick.
or Rob Zombie and everyone can kiss my butt, giving Rob Zombie a hard time for his Halloweens. I do enjoy them. It was, fanfic for Halloween, and that's what he did. And like, I think Rob Zombie's great. So between Zombie and Carpenter, I would love to see them have a swing at it. I think Carpenter would do phenomenal with that series. And if you've not watched his Suburban Nightmare series, a docu-series that
Ooh,
Carpenter did last year on Peacock, I highly recommend.
That's
So
Suburban Screams, right?
yes, that's it. Suburban Screams. It was really, really good. So, um, yeah. Carpenter would be my pick, or the Williamson and Zombie.
nice. Hardicus, so what original horror video game or series would you like to see a movie or TV show made for, and why is it Parasite Eve?
Oh man, Parasite Eve would be good. That wasn't on my list. Shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, Parasite Eve would be excellent. Same thing with like Dino Crisis. I think those would
Yes,
make
Yes.
Dino
excellent TV
Crisis.
shows. Uh, Stormrose hit another one that I was thinking of was Resident Evil. I haven't seen the Netflix ones, but I heard it was a dumpster fire. Um, but I think, an original series set in just like, the same time of like Resident Evil 2 or even, Resident Evil 1 where the outbreak is just starting would be a nice um, a fun series. I have two old and two new games, so I'll do my new games first. I know the zombie genre has a lot of options, but I think something based off of the Days Gone universe would actually be really fun.
Ooh, nice.
I have yet to finish the game, but from what I have played, it was a fun game. And I think with those different factions and things like that running around, I think could make a good TV show. The other one I had was Control. I really enjoyed that game. Had some nice sci-fi and um, psychological things going on it. So I think having some kind of show involving, the headquarters with Control in there could be very fun. My two older titles are probably one no one's probably even ever heard of, but one of them was Dante's Inferno. It was an old like hack and slash
Ooh.
God of War type of game.
Good choice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one way back in the day. And the one that no one's probably ever heard of is Clive Barker's Undying.
Huh.
Um, Ask me about the series, can't tell, or a game, can't really tell you much about it because I don't remember. It was like 25 years ago, but I remember enjoying the game, having fun with it, and it's stuck in my head even after all these years. So, and I like Clive Barker. He's got some deliciously wicked things out there. But yeah, those are my picks. But yeah, Dino Crisis and Parasite Eve. You trumped me on that one. That was good.
It's I have an issue with Control because you can't do Control without doing Alan Wake first. Because you got to
I
do,
mean, I've never played an Alan Wake game, and I enjoyed Control.
but you got to, if you're gonna get the whole, you got to do the whole thing, just to make it seem like they're not at all related. And then Alan Wake 2 rolls around, the third movie or the third season or whatever the heck it's gonna be, and then what is this doing in there? Why is that? It's kind of like the movie Split. with the M. Night Shyamalan, where like, okay, oh, what is this reference to Unbreakable doing in there? What? This is going to be a trilogy? That kind of thing. Of course, you'd hope that, you don't end up with something like Glass, but like the excitement that something like that was just out of left field, I think it would be a cool concept. Although you could do Control first and then do a separate Alan Wake. But at this point, the cat's out of the bag. Everybody knows that they're connected. So
I
yeah,
have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah.
Never played an Alan Wake, so I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about when it comes to the Control and Alan Wake connection. Other than when I was playing Control, there was a reference to Alan Wake, and I was like, oh, hey, that's that guy that game that Jamie Owls played. I was literally my only. I was like, okay, neat.
Hey, that's a guy from Fortnite.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I've never played that game.
Speaking of a fork knife, Simbu, original horror video game, or horror series you'd like to see be a movie or TV show.
Oh, so I got three, and they're more on the recent side. Some that go a little bit in the past. I didn't play very many horror games in my younger years, so NES, SNES, Genesis. Really didn't get into that genre until like the 64 or the PS1 era. So not many there, but I'm going to go with my first one, which is Devil May Cry. I would love to get a good series. I know they have an
I
animated
was just
series,
gonna
Yeah.
say they have an anime
but I would
for
like
it.
Good.
them to get a good live action Devil May Cry, either whether it be a series or a movie. I think, specifically the first Devil May Cry would make probably the first one and two. Once you get to three, and then Virgil with four, and then you can kind of teeter off. But I would like to see what they did with Helsing, the ultimate series of Helsing. I'd like to see whoever did that do Devil May Cry.
That's fair.
Speaking of which, property actually, I just thought of it. Helsing, I would love the video game. I would love a video game based in the Helsing universe. That would be awesome. Or a video game based in the Soul Eater universe.
Oh, Hellsing is in the anime?
I wasn't
Yes.
even thinking of anime stuff for that.
Helsing Helsing the anime, as well as Soul Eater the anime. I would love video games.
Yeah.
I would love video games based around there, similar to what they're doing with Fairy Tail, or what they did and what they are doing with Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. Now, next game, we're going to go up a little higher. We're going to go to 360, and that is going to be Alice, the Madness Returns. American McGee, just the first Alice, his American McGee's Alice, and then the Madness Returns. I would love to see them both made into a movie. Do a part 1 and part 2 like they did with the Harry Potter series, Deathly Hallows, part 1, part 2, and it's both games together. I think that would be a fantastic set of movies. And then, well, my final, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to go with Dead Space.
That's good.
I would love to
I can get
see
behind
it.
that.
I think they did an animated series for Dead Space, but I can't remember if they actually did or not. I know I know I've seen something, believe about it, but I would actually I would love to see either an anime Dead Space or a live action Dead Space.
That'd be cool.
Since
Yeah.
monsters and creatures are a big thing nowadays,
Yeah, and especially with the fact that you could get really creative with said monsters and creatures, and bonus points if they can avoid doing CGI and actually make them look realistic. That'd be pretty neat.
And then, of course, the final one would be Doom. Let's get a good Doom. A good Doom.
There is a Doom. There is a good Doom. It's got The Rock. The Rock is the best actor ever.
The only good thing about that Doom is the whole first-person shooter sequence. Other than that,
it's The Rock. The Rock is the best thing that happened to that movie. Any movie that has The Rock is immediately 4 stars.
Yeah,
The only
no.
thing that saved that movie was Carl Urban.
Scorpion King, Mummy 2. Mummy 2
The second
was
G.I. Joe movie.
The
yes,
mum.
Mummy 2 was a
Fast and the
boring,
Furious.
boring movie, but The Rock
Oh,
made it. The Rock made Mummy 2. The Mummy series wasn't good until they added The Rock. The Rock made the Mummy.
You know
I'm
Storm's
gonna
here,
shoot him.
right?
enter his sarcasm filter. Ha ha ha.
Storm.
Can I Brendan Fraser real quick on Fox? I'm gonna shoot him.
What?
Oh, the Scorpion King absolutely sucked, but don't you
Yes.
talk
The
about The
Rock.
Mummy or The Mummy Returns. Oh God, I
all,
love those two
all,
movies. Rachel Weisz,
blasphemy.
Rachel
If he
Weisz and Brendan Fraser.
if he was so bad, why is he the richest actor out there? Why does he cost the
Wrestling,
most to cast?
wrestling. It's his wrestling savings, and he's making his own promos and shit. Oh my
No, like he's
God,
one of the most expensive actors to cast, is what I'm saying. He makes the
it's
most per movie.
that's insane.
It's so
Pro.
like he's got to be worth the money, right? He's got to be that good of an actor, right? So
Sex
therefore,
sells.
The
I
the
know,
muscles will terrify people.
and
Maybe
our
I don't
bodies
No,
know.
too.
I'm honestly surprised that Hollywood doesn't use WWE wrestlers more often than they do. I mean,
Right?
There's
They're
a
already
reason for
great
that.
any one of
actors.
them, they're actors, they can performers, and they can do their own freaking stunts.
Yep, they're great actors. I mean, it is what it is.
I
Yeah.
mean, Stone Cold, he was great in Grown Ups too. John Cena, he's in everything. You can't see him, but I mean, he's in everything. You can't
Cena's
see him.
best was Daddy's
Uh,
Home 2 and Blockers. Blockers is a great movie. If you're over the age of 18 watching us, Blockers is a hilarious comedy.
Uh, Dave Bautista, legitimately, no sarcasm, no. When I say Dave Bautista, he actually is. He's gotten to be a very good actor, like
Hmm. Yes.
legitimately
He was
beyond
not only
Guardians of the
Guardians, but he
Galaxy.
was also in one of the 007s, wasn't he?
I
He
don't
might have been.
know that one.
Yeah, I
I
don't
know
recall
he's in the
that.
Dune movies.
Yeah. Oh, Jason. I don't think I asked you. Did I
No, you
ask you?
haven't. Nope.
Original horror video game or series you'd like to see a movie or TV show made for it. Bonus points if you can cast The Rock in a role.
He could be a big daddy, I guess.
Oh, that would work.
Because I doing research. There's of course rumors that there's going to be a BioShock TV show for Netflix. When that ever happens, who the heck knows? But I would love that to actually happen, to actually get a live action BioShock TV show, movie, either one. And as long as it's not BioShock Infinite.
I
It's
thought I thought they I think I know what you're talking about with the TV show. I think it's an animated one.
really, but
I think the
that
rumor
still
for the
hasn't
BioShock show
happened.
was animated. That was an
Hmm,
animated series.
interesting.
Because I've seen like the I've seen like the promo posters
Huh.
when the with alongside the rumor. So I don't know if that's just fan created stuff
I don't
or
know.
if
Again,
it's
it's one of those
rumor mill.
things like when they keep talking about Legend of Zelda getting a live action. Who the heck knows?
Well, that the two things on that.
Yes,
BioShock
Nintendo.
Netflix movie, Francis Lawrence, who did Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and I Am Legend, is going to direct it, and it's going to be live action.
Oh, that'll be
Um,
awesome.
and there have been two announcements so far regarding the Zelda movie, and that more
Yes.
information's coming next year. So
Now,
that's a definite thing.
Nintendo is actually doing this. So that one I actually can believe. To
Yes,
where,
and that one's odd because that too is going to be live action, and I don't know if I trust
uh-huh,
that.
that'll be a very interesting one.
Well, we
But
all saw what happened with Halo.
yeah, but Nintendo likes to keep their franchises and not let it go off the walls. So
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they let Dennis Hopper play King Koopa or anything in the 90s. Um,
You say that like he did bad.
oh
Hey,
no, he
he
made that
did the
movie.
best. Yeah, he
No,
did
no
the best
sarcasm.
job in that movie.
He was excellent in that movie.
Yes.
Let's just be clear about this.
And then Harry Potter's aunt played his love interest, Lena, I think it was her name. So there you go. Got a nice Harry Potter connection. Speaking of witchy, Sabrina with Salem over there. What original horror video game or series would you like to see a movie or TV show made for it?
One I had in mind, it's not considered a horror game. I would maybe kind of consider an action adventure, but I like to see a Plague's Tale made into like a TV show or a
That's got
movie.
horror elements. I would say that'd be good.
Yeah, I mean, having rats eat you, yeah, I think that's kind of horrific. But yeah, the Plague's Tale is one. Trying to think what else, like another horror. Oh, the Evil Within. That that would be more of a gore fest, honestly. So, yeah, I really like to see a Plague's Tale because they were really good games, the first one and second one.
Yeah, they announced a TV show for Plague's Tale like a few years ago, but I haven't heard anything come of it. So it'll be interesting to see if
Yeah.
anything happens with that. Um, for me, I have nothing funny or fun or creative with mine. It's been rumored forever, and it's bounced whatever lead female act bombshell blonde actress of the decade. In the aughts, it was Charlize Theron. I think last decade it was Brie Larson. This decade it would be I think what Sydney Powell would probably, is that her name, Sydney Powell? The Metroid movie. I'd love to see it. It would be fantastic. I don't think it would capture how the gameplay is at all, and they probably throw in Adam, the commanding officer, and have some stupid love interest thing with Samus and Adam. It'll just make it all terrible and horrible. But yeah, if there would be any sort of a shot or chance that could do anything with that, it'd be Nintendo if they pull Legend of Zelda out and actually do a good job and they don't cast Machine Gun Kelly as Link, I think I
Well,
could
I'm
trust
not
them to do
watching
a
it if
good
they don't.
Metroid series. What was that, Simbu? I'm sorry.
If MGK is not Link, I'm not watching it.
Well, you were gonna watch it anyway, so that's all right.
I mean, you don't want the Tom Holland Link?
I mean, we could always have him, whoever is going to be cast, voiced by Chris Pratt. I mean, he's so cool. He is so cool.
He has to do an Italian accent, right?
Yes, as Link.
As Link.
It's
As
me,
Link.
Alinka.
I'm trying to think, what was that one dorky kid from, Will Poulter. He has to be Link in my opinion. Will Poulter would make the perfect Link.
I don't know who that is offhand.
Like he was such a dorky looking guy from that series or that movie, but like he would fit Link so well.
You talking about Afterlife?
Afterlife? Ghostbusters?
No, wasn't he in Afterlife?
Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll share this guy. I think he'd be a good Link.
Oh,
Like
Okay.
you're
It kind
talking
of
about
looks like it.
Yep.
You're talking about Cal Kestis.
yes.
Adam Warlock from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
He's got the face for it.
He really does.
He would make a good Link.
But
He's a good solid actor too.
he is. He is very good. His voicing as Cal Kestis was excellent. I think he was nominated for a VGA for it, I think. But so yeah, that is the conclusion of Spooktober. We had five scary podcasts this month. And a huge shout out to our fantastic cast and crew. No, we haven't taken a week off at all this month. We are here for you, my friends, bringing the scares, bringing the laughs. And again, just a huge shout out, of course, to the Mad Belmont and Rad Bash. Gaming or the Rad Bash Show for joining us on a couple of the episodes a couple weeks ago. And let us know if you're watching on YouTube in the comments below your favorite horror and TV show video games based off of movies and the like, what existing video games you'd like to see as a TV show and movie that'd be good horror. We'd love to have a conversation with you. And we hope that you guys also have a safe Halloween and beyond because the spooky season continues on after Halloween. But
Yeah,
parting shots, Jamie Owls, parting shot.
I got my witchy vibes going.
That you do.
Mhm.
Jason,
That's
parting
not
shot.
just for Halloween.
I don't get any for you tonight.
Ah,
They're all failing you.
or are you succeeding? No, you're failing.
Maybe.
You're
You're
failing.
failing.
Everybody's failing.
We're failing.
All right, Simbu, you never let me down. Parting shot.
Hey, all I know is you still never let us know how many likes it was to get you to dress up as Lady Demetrescu.
Ah.
So
That's
thank you
the
so
Halloween
much
costume.
for joining us today. And we hope that you have a
He'll be
great
the Rock
day.
next week.